This is my creative checklist. You can get it off of my website, christhompsonteam.com. You can download my calculator. You can download my creative checklist. You can download my creative contract. It's all free on there. And another thing I'm working on is another checklist it's basically an inspection checklist to just kind of walk through the house and note everything. So if you're out of state investing, I think this will be a great tool for you. As soon as I get it done, it will be loaded on the website for free. Use all the tools on there. If you want to book a call with me and go a little bit deeper, you can book a call on that website as well. All of the links for everything I'm using today will be in the comment section down below. Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the weekly deal analysis here in the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. Each and every week, I jump on here, pick a random house on the internet, analyze it for a cash deal and a creative deal. Let's get into it. This week, we are traveling a little bit south from where we were last week into Florida. 2506 Colleen Drive in Tallahassee, Florida, 32303. This market, I actually do own two properties and they cash flow like crazy. If you want to hear the story on how I acquired those, drop me a comment below. Happy to fill you in. So let's dive into this thing and see what the numbers look like. So this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, just shy of 1600 square feet. They are asking 255 and built in 72, no HOA. HOAs are a pain in the butt. Oh my gosh. 248 days on the market. What are they doing wrong? Wow. All right, let's see what they say in here. That is a long time. So it's close to Florida State, which is obviously one of the appeals if you are looking to do college rentals. That's what my properties are there. 4 bedrooms. New roof in 23, new water heater in 24, appliances in 24. Okay, so this thing has been updated. Let's take a look at the pictures and see what we can find out here. So everything looks nice and clean. I hate when big trees are over top of houses. It just doesn't give me the good feeling. And you know why? Last year, I had a freak tornado. Yeah, a tornado in Tallahassee rip through and drop a tree on one of my roofs. All said and done, that process took 9 months, 10 months before I actually turned a dollar back as a landlord. Not fun. So when you're looking for insurance, make sure you have the part of the coverage that is the rental income replacement or whatever the term is for it. But that's what saved me. Otherwise, I'd be pretty deep in the hole on that thing. Beautiful pool, nice little screen porch. Why they would put the pool pump that close to the house, I don't know. This looks like parking, I guess. Extra parking down here. Looks like the driveway there. Did a nice job. Black frame windows, neutral paint, neutral floors. This was probably a flip. Everything in the kitchen looks new. You got the shaker style cabinets. Those are stone countertops, probably granite if I had to guess. New bathroom. This one looks great. Typically, when it comes to pricing, if something is sitting on the market for a long time, it's either price, condition, or a combination of the two. I would say the condition on this thing is phenomenal, so likely it's the price, but we'll dive into that shortly. I love how they have the floor plan tours here. It's just the easier way to try to map out what the house and the layout is. Zillow's saying Zillow's saying the price is pretty spot on. Rents, they're guessing about 2,400. That's a good sign. All right, so they listed in October for 265. Ooh, they were under contract at 260. What fell apart there? 5 days. It's either cold feet or home inspection. Well, they've been trying to sell this sucker for a while. See if I can figure out what they paid for it. We'll probably find that in our next step, but sold in 04 for 125,000. I'd say it probably went somewhere around here. So if they bought it for, they bought it for that, plus did the renovations, that's why they're not dropping their price. So this would be perfect for a creative offer. Taxes are not cheap. 43.73. What is our area telling us here? Got some competition, 215. This sold. When did this sell? 22. That doesn't do us any good. What about this one? Sold in 24. We're getting closer to 80. What about this one? This one is also for sale. Fairly comparable, a little bit smaller. Brand new on the market. Who's nearby? Overall, looks like a fairly decent amount of competition around here. Yeah, there's a lot on the market here. All right, so 255 is clearly not the right number on this thing. I'm gonna go in and say, and everything looks great. One thing with a pool, 50% of the people that would typically look at something for the house, because it has a pool, won't even consider it. It's just stats. I'm gonna say our ARV is gonna be probably no more than 230. Our ARV, or after repair value, gonna be 230. Let's figure out what 70% of that is. That is going to be our cash offer price. 161. Cash offer is going to be 161,000. Now let's jump over to the invest nest so we can analyze this thing for a cash deal. This is the dashboard on my end for the InvestNest. I love this software. It's super simple. It is very user friendly and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. And you can even skip trace in the system without an extra fee. So here's the dashboard, a little bit of everything here. Property search, pulls up the US, deal pipeline. Everything I look at automatically drops in over here. Anything I want to save, anything I skip trace, analyzing, make an offer, anything I put under contract. If it falls through, I throw it over here in archive. It doesn't delete it. So if somehow that thing can get resurrected, I can pull it back out of the archive. If I close on it, then I just dump it into my portfolio over here. And they do have a kind of like an open forum, and you can direct message people, groups. It's kind of one of the things I like a lot. There's different groups, so you can find local meetups. You can see local meetup. That's me right there. But overall, just some really good software. Let's jump back over here, and we are going to analyze this thing for a cash deal. Drive in Tallahassee. So this is how it pulls up, opens up on a map. And of course, this is on market, as we already know, because that's where we found it. Just some overall general information, tax record information, owner details. This is where you can skip trace. And again, that is included in your monthly price. All right. There, okay, this makes more sense. This guy bought it in 04, or I guess this couple bought it in 04, and then rolled it into an LLC. And they probably sold it into the LLC. Hmm. Wow. Hmm. Yeah, I think this was a mix up because it didn't close because it's back active for $15,000 less. Leon County, that'll come into play when we check the HUD website. All right, let's calculate this thing. All right, our purchase price, we said our ARV is 230, 70% of that minus repairs. I don't think this thing needs any repairs on it. So we're going to leave that part as 0. So we're just going to offer 70% of that 230, which is going to be 161,000. Closing costs, probably 4 points. Hard money lender costs, 2 points, 0 on the improvements. And we only want to put 20% down with a 30-year loan term. We'll probably get away with about 7.25 right now. Rental numbers. This one's pulling up a blank. Zillow, I believe, said 2405. So now let's jump onto the HUD website and we can figure out what HUD says they would pay. This is the HUD fair market value site. Super, super simple to use. So I just scroll over here and pick my state. Helps if I remember how to spell Florida. There it goes. And this, they said this was in Leon County. Let's check it out. All right, so this breaks down all of the different bedrooms that they will and the numbers that they will pay. This one, just to reconfirm, is a 4-bedroom. So at a 4-bedroom, they will pay up to $1,830. And Zillow said 2405. So we're looking at 2405 on the street or 1833 through HUD. I would lean towards a street tenant is going to be more profitable, but let's split the middle on this. Not even the middle. Let's bring it down to just $2,000 a month. Does that seem fair? Rent 2,000. Just taking some notes. So our rent 2,000, not 20,000. Property taxes, they already factor in. I would say 1,500 a year or 125 a month. Management fee 10%. Utilities, the tenants are going to handle. Our war chest or reserve fund, we put 15% away of each month's cash flow for repairs and maintenance, vacancy, and capital expenditures. So those are kind of like the big ticket items. Thankfully, they've done a lot of them already. Appreciation rate should go about 2 points. We'll plan to hold this 10 years. And hey, we're real estate investors. We don't pay full commission. Ready to see what the numbers look like? Okay, not bad. Not bad. So $131.97 cash flow after our reserves, after our mortgage, and all things in, and keeping that 15% aside for our war chest. Not the best numbers, but all in all, pretty darn good. So our total cash invested would be 41,216. Another thing I like about this site, you can play with the pricing, the down payment, the interest rate, long term. You can play with all of that in here without having to backtrack. Cap rate just over 7.5. Cash on cash returns not great. The ROI is pretty decent though. Here's our rent. Here's our war chest. Here's our other breakdown of fees. Realistically, this is about a 10-year hold to get a really good ROI, in my opinion. So again, it is a decent cash deal, but what I'm really excited for is the creative side. This is my creative checklist. You can get it off of my website, christhompsonteam.com. You can download my calculator. You can download my creative checklist. You can download my creative contract. It's all free on there. And another thing I'm working on is another checklist it's basically an inspection checklist to just kind of walk through the house and note everything. So if you're out of state investing, I think this will be a great tool for you. As soon as I get it done, it will be loaded on the website for free. Use all the tools on there. If you want to book a call with me and go a little bit deeper, you can book a call on that website as well. All of the links for everything I'm using today will be in the comment section down below. All right, we said our ARV is going to be $230,000. On a creative purchase, we generally get a lot closer to that. So you know what? We're just going to offer them $230,000, which is still about, I think, $20,000 or $25,000 less than what they're asking right now. So we'll give them that 230, but we're going to ask for seller carry at 2%. So how do we factor our PITI or principal interest, taxes, and insurance? I like to use Bankrate. Bankrate, super awesome software. You just log on, go to the calculator, and literally plug and play. All right, so we're going to offer $230,000. See if I can get away with 0 down. 2% interest. Maybe I can get away with 0 down. 32303. Property taxes are 360. We're just going to round up. I like easy numbers. 365. Uh-oh, wrong button. 365 and 125. So with 0 down and 2% interest, our payment is going to be $1,340. PITI is $1,340. Our potential rents, we said, were $2,000. Allergies are really bad right now. So our gross cash flow is $660 a month. 300 goes to a war chest, 200 goes to our property manager, and our net cash flow is going to be $160 a month. Still not a great number, but remember, we're $0 out of pocket so far. So our cash to seller is going to be 0. Our agent commission, I think we offer them $1,000 to go away. There is no assignment fee because we're trying to go direct to seller and or direct to agent. There is no wholesaler in the middle. Closing costs, we factored at 4%, so 9,200. Renos, everything's pretty much done. Nothing is jumping out at me saying that, hey, you should not do this. Renos, again, everything looks good, so I think we're good there. 2 months of carrying costs. TC, a good one's going to cost you about $1,000. So all in, for just shy of $14,000, you can make $160 a month. Now, that's about a 7-year return to get all of your capital back out. But would you buy a house for $14,000 to make 160 plus a month? I would. So what are your thoughts on 2506 Colleen Drive in Tallahassee, Florida? Pretty decent cash deal and a really potentially great creative deal. The reason it makes it great is because it's 0 down. Now, if we put some down, obviously those monthlies are going to go up. For me personally, if I can get into a property with very few dollars out of my own personal pocket and make a monthly cash flow, that's probably the route I'm going to try to go. That does it for us here on this week's episode of the weekly deal analysis here in the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, creative guy. See you next time.